What's going on, guys? We are here with a weekly update with possibly the wildest week in crypto. A lot of things happen. We're going to dive into it. We're currently sitting at $29,907 Bitcoin, which leads the market up or down. And this past week was wild. Basically, what happened was this whole Terra Luna project and their UST stablecoin absolutely nuked the market. So we're here to talk about what happened, what our experiences were, and what our predictions are going forward. So Nick, why don't you start us off on what you saw, what happened, and what your experiences were?
All right. Let's do this. Okay, so if you take a look at the chart where we were the last time we did a market update, we were kind of in this bear flag, kind of consolidating around here, and we predicted that we'd have a move lower. I remember I was saying we'd probably hit the support around 33,000 and bounce off of there. I know, Rob, you were saying we'd go down to 28,000 or 29,000.
28 to 32.
28 to 32, yeah.
Based off last week.
Based off last week, but we did not anticipate a stable coin becoming unpegged, which is something in the 8 years I've been involved in crypto. I've never seen something like this happen. So we're kind of in uncharted territory. It's a little scary. It's the first time in a long time where I've felt completely unsettled and kind of was playing with my mind a little bit, like what is going on.
It's supposed to be stable at $1.
Yeah, UST is supposed to be stable at $1. And if you look at we broke this Fibonacci support right here. I got the fibs drawn on here, and it looks like we dipped all the way down to 25,300. If you're trusting the fib supports, we could go all the way down to 23,000 before this route is over, or we could reverse. You never know what's going to happen.
Why don't we pull up the Luna chart? We can kind of roughly describe what happened, and then we can go into our predictions for Bitcoin. So let's pull up Luna.
Let's do that. Let's take a look at.
Okay, so last week I go on Twitter, I see a tweet. Why don't you pull up my Twitter?
Let's do that.
I see this tweet. First of all, everything's dipping down. We're dipping from where we were 36,000 whatever from last Wednesday when we had the Fed rate hike. Everything starts dipping down. So I just thought we were in a downtrend. Then I see this tweet on Twitter: massive withdrawals from Anchor Protocol in the past hour, frequency increasing. There's only about 300 million left of exit liquidity left on Pool 53 before Bitcoin peg. Hope this isn't how it starts on a low liquidity weekend. So this happened on the weekend. I saw this. I was like, this doesn't sound right. If you don't know, Luna has this protocol called Anchor Protocol. They also have a stable coin called UST. It should be the equivalent to $1. You can convert your US dollars, crypto, whatever you want to convert, to their stable coin and stake it on this Anchor Protocol for about 20% APY. A lot of people were doing that. There's a lot of money locked up on there. So this starts to happen. People are withdrawing. And for one reason or another, we're not going to get into the technicals, but their stable coin, which should equal $1, starts to depeg from the $1 equivalent value. So now it's going 99 cents, 98 cents, 97 cents. So now if you had $1,000, $100,000, $1 million in there, so let's use $100,000 for example, it's now worth, 95,000 if that stable coin is at 95 cents. And it kept going lower and lower and lower. And then the Luna token, which is their main blockchain.
It's like a governance token, I think.
Yeah, it's their blockchain governance token. That starts going down and nuking. So I saw this tweet and the market's just going down, but the whole Luna project didn't really nuke yet. And then I saw it was going down significantly more than other things. And I started looking at it in like the $50 to $60 range. And I started reading more on Twitter and reading more about this whole depeg and everything that was going on. So when I saw what was going on, I was like, this is going to zero. Like there's no way that happened. And if you even scroll up, I even had some tweets in there that said Luna to zero by the end of day. Because I figured this whole thing was going to unravel. It's probably some sort of Ponzi that everyone got tripped up in, and it's just going to absolutely break the system. So fast forward, I start shorting the coin at around $50. And I made some good trades, but I was trying to chased the pumps up and down, and it ended up losing all of it. Got wiped out trying to lose the go up and down the pumps, which happened to a lot of people, including Nick and a lot of people we know, because the price action was just so crazy. So I saw this happening around $50, $60. I started shorting it, making some money, but I eventually ended up getting liquidated, losing it. That was kind of my story with it. Nick, why don't you briefly fill us in on what happened with you?
Yeah, I honestly had never done any research on Luna until this week. I heard the events unfolding. I had some friends that were involved in the project, and they gave me confidence that it was a good project. That Do Kwon, was his name Do Kwon or
Duquan.
Do Kwon? They had faith that he was going to repeg the UST. So when I saw Luna dropping from like 100 down to 60 down to 40, I started going long, leveraged. Ended up getting liquidated. Yeah, you can see it's like right like the way
Let's
over
just
here.
show them the actual
I know
chart
the
of where
actual
it
like long
was.
term chart is pretty crazy.
Peak price, it was about $120. And if you see it's now less than a penny, it
Like
looks like it
well
was
under a penny.
just an absolute rug Ponzi scheme. Like
So
that's what it looks like.
yeah, after I got liquidated at $30, I'm like, well, it can't go lower than that. So I opened up another trade at like $25. Ended up getting liquidated on that, and I thought I was being smart by going only 2x, 3x leverage. Then the thing just fell like a knife. Um, so I went to sleep, got up the next day. The thing's trading around like under $1. I'm like, oh my goodness, what is going on? I was like, Rob, I think you were right about this thing going to zero. And what was happening was the Luna Foundation was they're selling on the market, trying to buy back UST to try to get it to repeg to $1. And in the meantime, it's like kind of like a run on a bank. Everyone is fearful already that they're not going to be able to get their money out, so they're just selling at whatever price they can get for UST. So it was like a cascading effect. And I believe Luna they're allowed to print as many tokens as they want. So they started printing, I think, a couple days ago, which continued to further drive the price down. They were just trying to get more money out of just investors who wanted to invest at a low price. I thought Luna was a great price under 30 cents. So I started buying it not on leverage at that point, just on the spot market, and ended up getting crushed again. It just makes me wonder how many people out there got crushed like I did with the Luna token.
So there's this account on Twitter that I guess is some sort of bot, but it'll automatically post liquidations when they happen. And it was following the Luna token. And I was scrolling through Twitter, and literally, every couple tweets, I would see these posts of it shows you the amount of money that was spent. So 1,000, 100,000, a million, whatever it was, the price in and out, and where the person was liquidated. And you were just seeing liquidations all day long. The price action on this coin was so insane that anyone who was trading that token got liquidated at some point.
Like with leverage, like the longs were getting liquidated and the shorts were getting liquidated because the price swings were so volatile.
The exchanges made so much money on this.
Yeah.
Insane. So that happened. It brought down the entire market. And
And like the reason why it brought down the entire market is I saw like even myself selling some of my other cryptocurrencies to buy into Luna because you see a coin that's down 95, 99%, you're like, this thing's got to bounce at some point unless they're printing like billions of tokens a day and
which
dumping
they
them on the
did.
market, which is what they did. So that kind of like shook me this week. Kind of got me to make some really bad decisions.
Yeah, the whole thing was a disaster. The whole thing went to zero. It's actually less. It's going to be the negative number soon. But uh, it was fun to watch Twitter and watch all the memes. But the whole truth is, and the sad part is, a lot of people lost a lot of money because they put their trust in this project and they put their savings, their life savings, and everything on the line to earn this 20% EPI. Which, when I first heard about it, I knew there was just a big risk coming along with that high APY.
So, I mean, what can we learn from this? Like, what can I learn from this? What can our viewers learn from this? Is just stay diversified. If you had your entire life savings in Luna, and the fact that any investment you make can go to zero. That's why, in some of our course videos, we talk about just always stay diversified. So that way, if you lose your entire investment, you may only lose 20% of all of your investments
Right.
because you're diversified across several different types of assets. So that's like, I'm thankful that I didn't lose my entire life savings in this, but I lost a decent chunk because I was chasing a falling knife. Um, Yeah, that's pretty much
I
it.
think, yeah, stay diversified. And also, when something like this happens, we saw a lot of people and a lot of influencers. They're like, yeah, I'm just going to wait it out. The UST stablecoin is going to repeg, and I'm just going to ride it out. And this is when everything was falling, everything's going down. And this played out over a couple of days. And now some people are literally at zero. So sometimes it is better to get out and just cut your losses. So diversify. Sometimes you have to cut your losses. Um, and don't buy into something that is too cult like. I feel like this whole Luna project, a lot of people were too bought in, and it was like kind of this like cult like following where people just believed in it so much but didn't want to accept any of the risks associated with it. So that's the Luna project, unless you have anything else to say on it, Nick.
No, we can go to the news.
Okay, why don't we cap off the charts here with the current Bitcoin price and our predictions going forward for the next week and the next
All right,
short term time frame.
let's switch back over to Bitcoin here.
All right, why don't you leave this off, Nick? We're at 30,000 right now.
We are at $30,000. It's hard to tell whether or not this is going to be able to hold here. It feels like it because we had already broken a very long term support. This could just be a capitulation moment. We bounced straight back up above this Fibonacci level here at 33,000. If we can't get back above this level very quickly, I see us possibly making a capitulation dump all the way down to the low 20s before the retracement rally up to the 50,000s happens. So that's kind of scary to think about. It's kind of scary to think about how I am currently invested. I'm still mostly invested in cryptocurrency, waiting for that retracement rally. So having that after this last week that we just had, seeing the charts and seeing that we could possibly go down to the low 20s and kind of just scare the last little bit of weak hands out it's kind of unsettling to think about that. What do you think, Rob?
I think we're at an interesting time because Luna was like a 40 billion market cap coin. You have a lot of money that exited that, but also a lot of money that got lost on that. So the question is, and then a lot of people just exiting projects because there was a huge massive sell-off. So now there's a lot of people sitting on cash or stable coins. So there's a chance they could redeploy that into the market, into Bitcoin, Ethereum, top coins, and send the market back up to some sort of dead cat bounce retracement, into the 30s, 40s range. I think that's unlikely though, although it is a possibility. We're around this $30,000 range. It doesn't look like we're not convincingly holding it. We're kind of just ranging in this like 28 to 32,000 range. I think we just chop sideways for a little bit and then eventually grind lower to like the 20 to 24,000 range. So it could also play out as one of those things where we just chop sideways, the market gets really boring, and we just continue to grind lower into the bear market. And, with all the news coming out about inflation, the markets, the interest rates, I think it's more likely that we just continue to grind lower bear market, but there also is the possibility of a retracement. So, it's tough to call, but those are my thoughts.
I'm just playing with the fibs here to see if I see anything else. Looks like we don't have to get back above 33,000. I don't know why those fibs were drawn that way before, but it looks like if we can get the weekly chart candles back above this $29,000 level quickly, and we hold here, this could be the moment that this was the capitulation dump that got all the weak hands out, and we start our retracement back up to the 702 level, which is going to be now because we made a new low. Actually, that's pretty good that where it bottomed out. Some of the fib lines are matching up with that. So I'm seeing some stuff that I haven't seen before. I'm just trying to see where the 702 level is now. It's still in the mid 50s, 55,856, based on this capitulation dump. So hey, I'm praying that we hold here because I'm still fully invested. So let's go on to the news.
All right,
What do you
let's
think?
do it. Let's cover the news for the past couple days and past week. So just a couple headlines we have here. By the way, this is our new newsletter we have. It's our Coffee and Crypto newsletter. So if you want to subscribe, there will be a link in the description, and you can subscribe to our weekly newsletter where you'll basically get headlines and brief clips on the latest and most trending articles of crypto. So you don't have to waste all your time, reading news websites, Twitter, and all that stuff. We're just going to cherry pick the best stuff for you. But basically, we have first one is Binance halts trading for Terra, delist Luna, and UST. So Binance and other major exchanges basically pulled the plug on Terra, Luna, and UST just because of the crash and their response to it.
And it makes sense why they would do that, because even like seasoned investors like myself get sucked into trying to catch a bottom and something like this, and trying to catch the falling knife. Even though after something's fallen 99%, you think you can catch a 50 or 100% bounce. And I'm thankful that the exchanges are stepping in and delisting this to prevent further losses.
Yeah, actually, what I read was that they were trying to communicate with the Terra team, and there was just like little to no communication of what they were going to do to fix the problem.
Yeah, Do Kwon's out there just printing and selling, and he's probably going to
Right.
disappear.
Yeah, so they're just printing massive amounts, and then there was liquidity issues.
What do you think the chances of Do Kwon disappearing after this are?
He's probably already gone.
He's probably already gone.
Yeah, so major exchanges were delisting it, and actually, I read today, as of as of this recording, they were starting to relist the coin, but it's this back and forth thing with liquidity and just issues with this whole crash. Next one we have is Tether loses dollar peg amid ongoing stablecoin crisis. So Tether is the world's largest stablecoin and has experienced some fluctuations recently with this crash, briefly falling as low as 95 cents on Thursday. But Tether's CTO went on to explain that this is the result of pure market dynamics, meaning the fluctuations and what exchanges do to arbitrage the prices of the coin and the stable coin. So this is just like what happens in the market and with market swings, and reassures that USDT has credibility and is actually backed by real assets. So that was that. Nick, why don't you read the next two?
Yeah, let's go. This Do Kwon guy. I didn't know who this guy was until this week, but just 2 years ago, another failed algorithmic stablecoin project called Basis Cash. I've never even heard of this. Was founded and led by Rick and Morty, which is the apparent pen name for Do Kwon. Same founder behind the downfall of the recent Luna and UST crash. This is what I was just saying. Like, this guy has caused so many people financial ruin. Do Kwon, like, if I was him, I would want to disappear, because there's people out there probably committing suicide. There's like literal.
There's some reports, yeah.
There's literal, like, they say the best time to buy is when there's blood in the streets, and I guarantee you there's people out there committing suicide. There's literal people's blood in the streets because of this crash that's happening. So Do Kwon.
Yeah, so he basically rugged another project 2 years ago that was also an algorithmic stable coin.
Red flags. I wish we would have known about this before.
Next one, Sam Bankman-Fried, who is the CEO of FTX, the major exchange, buys 7.6% stake in Robinhood, roughly worth about $600 million. Robinhood has been expanding to its crypto to their users more aggressively. I know a lot of retail and a lot of personal friends, they pretty much only trade on Robinhood just because of the ease of use. So both parties saw it as an attractive investment and a beneficial agreement or beneficial partnership. So that's interesting. FTX is huge. They're looking to align with Robinhood. I think Robinhood probably has the biggest, market share for retail investors. So it's good, offering crypto to more people, making it easily accessible.
Let's go to the next one. Elon Musk, is the Twitter deal off?
Right now it's on hold.
Twitter deal temporarily on hold pending details supporting calculation that spam fake accounts do indeed represent less than 5% of.
They represent way more than 5%.
I guarantee it. Bots and scam accounts plague Twitter. Yes, I've seen this happen many times. Fixing this issue is one of the biggest requests amongst the users. If Musk's Twitter deal goes through, Musk announced he is putting the deal on hold until further supporting details can verify if spam fake. Man, what's Elon Musk doing? Is he just like out there trying to like pump and dump stock so he can make personal gains on this?
Well,
because like I heard that the Twitter stock crashed after this news came out.
Yeah,
and it pumped when he initially like went to buy it at a certain price. So that's like clear market manipulation to me. It makes me mad.
Yeah, but if that's a false report that spam accounts are only they're less than 5%, then he's buying it at a certain price, which is $40 a share, whatever. If that's more of the user base, maybe you can get a better deal.
Maybe.
Right? Because then there's actually less real users than what Twitter's reporting.
So yeah, maybe he's just trying to get a better deal out of this. I don't know.
I think that's probably what it is.
All right.
Next one, crypto whales. Tesla, MicroStrategy, both underwater as Bitcoin crashes to 2020 price lows, with Bitcoin hitting a low of $26,350. The largest corporate holders are now down big on their investments. Both companies hold Bitcoin at a rough average price between 30,000 and 32,000. So I actually thought about this, and if you're just getting into Bitcoin now, there's a good chance you can get Bitcoin for lower than the largest corporate whales. So that's a pretty good position to be in because, you know, these guys are holding a lot of Bitcoin. So, you know, if they have their prices here, they've done their research. So if you can get in lower than them, you're in a good
Yeah,
spot.
it's a good place to start dollar cost averaging if you believe we're in a bear market. I think it's a great time to start buying if you're completely new to crypto. It's a great time. Let's go to the next one. Warren Buffett backed Nubank launches crypto trading, holds Bitcoin on balance sheet. One of Bitcoin's biggest critics launches crypto trading to a portfolio banking platform giant called Nubank, which serves 54 million users in South America. That's so interesting. I literally just saw an article about Warren Buffett saying he believes Bitcoin is worth zero.
Yeah, I
So
saw
it,
that came out in the last week.
so it's interesting that he is now one of his companies is backing a Bitcoin trading
Yeah,
platform.
apparently this platform, Nubank, is one of the largest. Uh, apparently, it's like an app, and apparently it's one of the largest, if not the largest, app that services South America. So now it's going to offer crypto to all of South America. So pretty interesting there. One of Bitcoin's and crypto's biggest critic, but you know he's in it to make money. So I guess he's on the right trend. So that's good for crypto. But I think we'll wrap it up there. That was our market update, and we'll catch you guys next week. If you want to sign up to this newsletter, there'll be a link in the description. You can get this on a weekly basis. The best news, the best articles, cherry picked for you with the best snippets, so you don't have to do all the research and reading.
Yep. Catch you guys next time. Stay safe out there in the crypto space.